Where's the, I'm pulling them out within 16 months.
Look, well, the exact quote here, Rachel, and again, Rachel, you are obviously the only person here that did not hear this quote from the campaign manager. Quote, we will be out of Iraq at 16 months at the most. And then he went ahead and said, yes, because I'm the commander-in-chief, but I will still listen to generals when it comes to tactics. And it would strike me as funny, too, if I had no response to that.
Where are you hearing him say yes? He didn't actually say the word yes.
Yeah, the yes was there. It was taken out in the edit.
You know what? I guess we don't know what the meaning of is. Tony, what's your response?
Joe, let me make a point. Look, there's always a little fudge in anything that politicians say, but it was clear what he was saying in the past, and it's clear that he's moving away from it now. And to quote a famous man, he's going to be as careful getting out of his policy as he's reckless getting into it. And he recognizes he's got a problem. Iraq is turning better. He can't go to Iraq, listen to the generals, and say, my feet are in stone, I pay no attention if they say we can win this thing. So he's positioning himself conditionally to backpedaling away from his old commitment to get out in 16 months or so.
Michelle, were I running John McCain, were I running Barack Obama's campaign, I would tell him to do this, because I think this actually reassures Americans, okay, this guy said what he needed to say to win the far left in the primary, and now as he moves to the general election, he's getting more responsible on FISA, he's getting more responsible on troop withdrawal. Doesn't this make middle Americans in Ohio and West Virginia and Pennsylvania like Barack Obama more?
Absolutely. One of the things that Tony said earlier that I agree with is that he's acting more responsibly on Iraq. Now, we have always known since day one that regardless of of the rhetoric that we were hearing from Senator Clinton and Senator Obama on Iraq policy, that this day would come regardless of who the Democratic nominee was. And what it tells me is that Barack Obama is playing to win. And if he's going to win this election, he's got to move to the center. And that's what he's been doing on every policy that we have seen him talk about all of this week.
Right.
He's going after Reagan Democrats, he's going after Republicans, he's going after people in the center and people who have, very serious foreign policy and national security concerns. And as we have heard people say before, this man is not Bambi. He is running to win this election, and he could not stay where he was before on Iraq policy and have a chance to win in November.
I totally agree that his policy on Iraq is conservative.
Let me give Rachel the final word. Rachel, hold on a second. Let me give you the final word here, Rachel, on this segment. But seriously, on Iraq, he's got to move to the center, and he appears to be doing it. He's going to do it on FISA. We certainly know he's going to do it on trade. He's not going to deep six NAFTA. There are a lot of positions that he took in the primary campaign that he's going to abandon as he runs to the center. That's not necessarily a bad thing for Democrats who want to win, right?
I think the important thing to recognize here is that there's a difference between taking a centrist position because it's good for the general election and changing his position. What I'm saying about this Iraq stuff is not that Barack Obama secretly has a lefty position on Iraq that nobody else recognizes. I'm saying that his position on Iraq is very centrist and has been all along and is not changing. This is the position that his campaign was taking through the primaries, and we have ascribed a much more liberal policy to him. But when you go back and you look at the tape, and when you go back and you look at the statements from his campaign all the way back through the spring, all the way back when they were attacking Hillary Clinton for having a plan for withdrawal that wasn't subject to conditions on the grounds, it shows you that this is where he's been all along. You can call it centrist, but it's still consistent.
Show of hands. Show of hands. We got to go to break, but show of hands. We did this last night. We're going to do it tonight. How many agree with Rachel that Barack Obama was not saying we're going to get out of Iraq in 16 months to Charlie Gibson? Raise your hand if you agree with Rachel. Okay. Rachel, you're looking at it in a different way.
The next time it's one against four. Next time it's one against four, me with four conservatives, I won't expect to win the next vote either.
Well, I don't know that this has anything to do with. I don't know that this has anything to do with conservatives or liberals. It has to do with the English language, and it certainly sounded clear enough to me that you can keep laughing all you want. But here's the exact quote again as we go to break. Will you be out of Iraq in 16 months? We will be out of Iraq in 16 months at the most. That's his campaign manager. And again, I would say most Americans of most ideological stripes would say that's exactly what he meant in that answer.
You're so wrong. I can't even hold it together. You're so wrong.
That's actually, you might support Obama, but you've got the Clinton cackle down, Rachel. I'm proud of you. Coming up next, John McCain's running mate. What's he looking for, and is he considering an